I wake up in the morning, telegram in hand, on to our community, the coolest in the land. Cheese cream drops a joke, got me laughing loud. Then I start to scroll down through the daily crowd. Who's the OG Prince, lighting up the zone? Is it Dama Beast or Sav on the throne? Or maybe it's Friday, Flexmas is here. Time to throw some gains and flex without fear. I toss out some questions, looking for the signs. And sign fixes ready, dropping out for lines. I keep on reading, can't look away. Those spicy emojis make my whole day. Then someone yells exit, get off PulseChain. But I ride the waves through pleasure and pain. I live in a limbo of hope and despair, but we're all in this boat and I'm proud to be there. Yeah, I might end up wrecked, burned by the flame, but I'm with the best crew in this wild DeFi game. I might end up wrecked, burned by the flame, but I'm with the best crew in this wild DeFi game.
All right. Welcome to R2R. Another live stream, a late night one, but there's been a lot to digest in PulseChain, but I got around to it. All right. We got around to it. So welcome to R2R, welcome to Wreck to Riches. Don't forget to smash the like button, drop a comment, and always remember, I'm not a financial advisor. For damn sure not a professional. This is cryptocurrency. Don't ever allow an influencer or any social media platform out there to influence you when it comes to crypto, because you could get wrecked and lose it all. All right. Richard Hart moves 98% of the PulseChain Sacrifice Funds. As you can see here, we're about to deep dive into this bad boy, right? I'm about to give you a piece of my mind. And we always talk about the PulseChain Treasury Tracker, how I hate the terminology, and I've always felt Richard Hart hates the fact that people refers to this as the PulseChain Treasury Tracker. And if you're an OG, like the true OGs, not like a lot of the faces out there I see out there in PulseChain and even in Hex, I'm just like, I don't remember those guys day one, even the first month, even the first 6 months, but a lot of them are like the big faces, right? But if you're a true OG, you'll remember the topics that we're going to cover today on why now people have always been talking about this 3D, 4D, 5D, 7D chess. The fun is about to begin. All right. So before we move on, guys, don't forget to take a look at the sponsor, the official sponsor of the R2R live streams and video content. Head over to BaseChain, and a whopping $581,749 has been paid out to the minters of the treasury bonds, where you get your ETH, you mint the bonds. Already 16,873 have been minted. Pays you in USDC, 83.71% APR. It's been just like clockwork, paying out every Friday. Get exposure to the strategies they use, expert entry, their exit timing, precision managed liquidity range settings as well, all done for you. Now let's get into the topic of the night. All right. The SAC funds money. The SAC funds money. The money has left the building, right? You can refresh it all day long. Money's been out. It's about 99% gone. Tornadoed cash. Wherever it's gone, you will never know. You're not supposed to know. All right. Where does that come from? You're not supposed to know. Well, if you guys are the OGs out there, back when the Hex became publicly live to go into the AA lobbies, once upon a time, you get your ETH and you go into the lobby and you trade your Ethereum for Hex. And the amount of Hex you got, depending on the amount of Ethereum you went on any given day, that started, what is it, 2,149 officially today for eHex. 2,149 days ago. If you were around 2,149 days ago, you're an OG and you will be able to connect with what we're going to talk about, and we're going to watch on camera as well, because some of you guys need some reminding. Okay, why this is important. Why is this so important? Because the argument that is here today was something that Richard Hart got gutted for, and why it magnitude the amount of people as far as influencers and anybody you can think of that was a big name as far as influencers in the crypto space, whether they're YouTubers, people that are, Bitcoin maxis that were popular, tone vases, is where did the ETH go? All that Ethereum that we put in and traded our hex for, everyone wanted to know, where did it go? And the reason why you didn't know where it went, and Richard Hart had talked about this for years, is because if you knew where the Ethereum went, you would have expectations, which would be breaking, right, the line between what would declare hex as a security and not being a security. When it comes to the Howey test, the expectations of the work of others. So I was always puzzled why the PulseChain Sacrifice wasn't tornado cashed into behind the curtains and vanished into thin air. And pretty much, not that it's untraceable, because there are people that can trace the funds and know where they're at. It's very hard to do, but there's experts out there that can do it. But why did that never happen with the PulseChain Sacrifice? And this PulseChain Treasury Tracker website, it's going to go away now. And thank God, because it's the most annoying thing to look at, because it sets expectations that he is going to come pump the chain. Even though he went and beat the SEC in this argument as well, that the sacrifice was a true sacrifice and it was not one of those things where it was an illegal ICO, and he was declared the winner in court. Okay, so he fought hard for this position. And you got to understand, too, now that we have the SAC funds behind closed doors, wherever that money is, it can already be in Richard Hart's bank account. It could be paying the Finland government the tax money that he apparently owes for the tax evasion. It could be paying off Interpol. It could be buying another diamond. It could be doing anything under God's green earth, but you don't know where that ETH goes, and you shouldn't know. And I've always been a believer in that like, why is it out in the open? He didn't make look into PulseChain, right? This website here, look into rh.com and label it a PulseChain Treasury Tracker. Now, I'm sure that annoyed him, and we talk about this a lot. We talked about the last stream. This has to anger him, because we got a sample, and he brought it up in a tweet recently, of a $20 million injection that came from a wallet, right? He didn't say it was my wallet, I'm the one who did it. Because remember, we don't know who owns the OA addresses. He's never claimed to own the OA addresses or even the SAC funds. Never claimed. Never has, never will. This is not going to happen. All right? We're going to watch something here. And I want you guys to understand something. Now things are ready to be in place. Now I'm more bullish than ever. And the sample you guys got in early 2024 with the $20 million injection into PulseChain, you saw that it pumped and people dumped into it. And he talked about this on Twitter openly in a comment, how people dumped on it. And you know what? I always said to you, the people messed up when they did that. But let's go back into time. Let's go look at a Richard Hart live stream for a moment here, right? Let's watch this live stream right now, right here. And I want you guys to focus on something. And I think this is going to really educate people. We'll turn the sound off to... This is going to educate people, all right? Wake up. Where's the gong? You guys need to remember where the roots of this chain came from. And remember 2,149 days ago, when Hex was in its early adoption amplifier days, in the argument of where did the ETH go, how this was addressed by Richard. If you didn't watch these live, I watched all of these hours and hours. But let's cut into the segment here and listen what he has to say. And remember, Hex did a 10,000x in 2 years. Now we don't have all this money that we can watch and wallet watch and have people say the SAC funds are moving and front run the prices going up. Now you don't know where the money's going to come from if and when that does happen. And that's how it's supposed to be. Let's tune in. Let's listen to this segment here. It's important so you understand the origin of why it's important not to have the slightest clue of where that Ethereum is now at this point.
Do it, and then you could answer it or not. But comes from somebody by the Bizzle. He says, "Why does he not know where the Ethereum is going that people give the contract?" Go ahead. You could
Sure.
answer first, and then
Yeah.
I have something really that I want to say about it.
So ask that guy what his crypto address is, and ask him to explain to me where his money's going.
Exactly. Miss the Bizzle, and this is no disrespect, but it's his money.
Well, it's not. It's not. So here's the issue: the Hex would be more successful and generate more revenue if promises were made. Hey, we've got these things on the roadmap. Hey, these are the ads. Hey, these are the partnerships. Hey, look at all this. Look at all this shit. All this future stuff. When you start doing that, you look more like a security.
Security. Yep.
Right. And securities can't list on exchange. So if you take money into a common pool, and if people put money into a common pool with the expectation of profit solely from the work of others, it's likely a security. And then it can't list on exchange. So when people ask this question, it threatens the security of the project by making it, more likely to get fucked with. I prefer to not get fucked with. So I do the thing which is more clunky and more crappy and I don't enjoy and generates less revenue. And I say no promises and no expectations. And you not only can't have any expectations, you don't even know who you might be able to have them from, because you don't even know who might have the keys to those addresses. It's to help make the project more secure at the cost of revenue. Because maximum revenue would be, we're going to do this and we're going to do that and all this other stuff, right? So I wish I lived in a world where I could have less restrictions on my speech, but I don't live in that world. I live in a world where I need to tread very carefully and speak very specifically and make sure that you understand that you're doing all the work, you're minting your own coins, no one else can mint your coins for you, you are the network. There's just some code that sits there, inert text on a contract, well, compiled into bytecode, and it just sits there. You can run it or you cannot run it. You can mint your hex or you cannot mint your hex. You're the network, you're doing all the work. That's a leg of the Howey test. That leg's enough. So that should be enough. But let's overdo it and let's make it even more secure and also make sure that you have no expectations whatsoever. And so that's the reason that I don't do what these people want. They want me to fuck up. They want me to harm the project. I won't do it. So they just don't realize that it gets weird, right? Because unless you know about securities law, you just want to know everything because you're curious, right?
Now, interesting enough, right? That video is so freaking old. He already knew that he wasn't breaking a leg of the Howey law by following this guideline as far as the work of others, the expectations of the work of others, right? And being very careful with his language, being careful with the way he presented it, admitting to the admin keys, admitting to holding the tokens, knowing where the ETH went. He set no expectations whatsoever. So when Hex pumped, the speculation was he was using that ETH. And it could have happened. It might have happened. And it could be the reason why it happened at all. but you'll never know, right? You can only speculate. And that's where the speculation came so strong with PulseChain that he would do and carry it to a 10,000, 14,000x for Pulse or PulseX. But the thing is those expectations are so heavy because we can wallet watch and see that money. And I really believe at this point, he is going to do what he's always done. And like they say, if you know, you know, right? If you know, you know. But if you don't know, now you know. And it's important to also know the recycling of the ETH, which was a part of the drama, right? There is so many FUD events that happen in Hex early on, and even to this day, I don't even think it stacks up against the FUD and all of the drama that we've seen with Pulse. And there's, I believe, way more money in the pot. Let's watch this topic here. We'll go to another clip where, man, he really killed this guy right here. Twice on stream, we've seen it. Where they talk about the recycling of the ETH, which was in relation to the AA lobbies back in the day. The early adoption amplifier, right? The recycling of the Ethereum. Let's take a look at this one.
Galaxy Brain, let me ask you a question, okay? A guy buys hundreds of millions of dollars of Hex. I don't think he bought hundreds. Let's take this just one Godwill, this one guy who has ETH from the Genesis address. I think he's got like 3 billion Hex or something. I think it might have cost him maybe 20 or 30,000 ETH to get that because he was buying like early.
You tell me what, Dan, we'll go and have a look because I looked at all the on-chain data before and there hasn't been that much. There's
well,
been
when you saw the very beginning,
a lot of recycling of Hex.
What are you talking about?
There's been a lot of recycling of the ETH.
Tell me about that.
You can look at the velocity.
Oh, recycling of ETH. Okay. Well, tell me more.
Yes.
I want to know about it.
If we dive into the on-chain data, you can see that particularly early on, the velocity and the turnover is a lot of the same.
Why don't you show your screen, bro? Why don't you just keep your screen shared, man? Let's. Nobody wants to see my face. Nobody wants to see your face. Let's show that badass screen. Can we see the price chart, or you want to hide that?
What do you want to look at now? Price? Yeah.
Yeah, the thing that you can actually make money on. The only thing you can actually make money on. Unless you take a liquidity provider risk.
You can't make money. If you're telling people they've got these huge gains, and if people go, great, I invested whatever, and now I've got this 100 million they think they're sitting on, the fact is they can't. If anyone ever tries, if 50 people try to sell $1 million, that goes to zero.
Let's do this math real quick. So when I go on Twitter and I see people buying McLarens, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, boats, houses, and shit, that's fake. Those aren't real. Or are those real?
What's that got to do with this?
Well, you're telling me that can't happen because the price is going to go to zero. But I see it with my eyes. I don't get it.
I said if people are trying to sell in a liquid market, it's going to zero.
Oh, okay. Well, here's
cars.
what's funny. It doesn't look like they want to sell the world's best performing asset. It looks like they want to buy it.
That's
so it kind of fucks up your thesis, bro. No, they do realize it.
That's why I'm
dipped in price 75% 5 or 6 times. We dipped in price.
Mathematically impossible for all these people to make money while the realized market cap isn't there. There's never been more than 20 or 30
didn't you just say I owned 90% of the coins? Well, wouldn't that in theory make the market cap 10 times less so you could shut the fuck up about it 10 times more? You can't have it both ways, bro.
I love it. Richard, that's vintage Richard right there that we all want to watch on the stream, right? When we come here and we look at the price of PHEX, which is the copy of Ethereum Hex over on PulseChain, by the way. It's quite interesting. Now we're in a whole new ball game. We don't know where any money's going to come from, if and when. We don't have expectations. This could be a good time for people to either over speculate or under speculate and shake out a lot of people, right? If we go into a phase of not hearing from Richard, not seeing injections from wallets come in with millions of dollars, the market go down, we can see the ultimate shakeout while money is sitting dormant. That ETH could be selling into stable tokens and waiting to buy the dip. That ETH could be buying Bitcoin. That ETH can be doing so many things, but you don't know. That's the great part. That's the beauty. That's OG hex days. None of this, like, I've been so sick and tired of going into the Twitter spaces. I literally am just like, man, I thought this was going to be a good one. All they talk about, everyone is guilty of talking about the PulseChain Treasury wallet. Watching that. That could not be the sole reason why people are bullish on Hex or bullish on PulseChain, right? That cannot be the case. You have to have people that want to be here building and buying tokens and primarily interested in the core tokens, right? It's a lot of good memes, a lot of good altcoins. But now he has wiped that thought, and it's gonna be a while, because today it's like, oh my gosh, we're gonna pump like crazy, right? All the influencers are like, get ready. When in fact, I think it's going to be a grace period of time that he allows that to die off. I mean, the ultimate plan would be for him to just to leave Twitter and really shake people out and really get people speculating and worried and whatnot. Because if you don't start seeing tweets that align with him being bullish and thinking that he's going to bridge it over, and the market starts tomorrow and starts to go up or down, you know, PulseChain doesn't go up much while the market's going up, or PulseChain crashes while the market's crashing. And now we don't have all that money that we've been speculating on for the past 2.5+ years, going on 3 years. There's going to be people that are selling, right? I really think that we are at that point where the 3D, 4D, 5D chess starts. And the speculation's crazy out there already. You know, he's gonna bridge it over and pump the chain. He's gonna peg PDI. He's gonna do this. He's gonna do that. Well, now that speculation, that time of focusing on what's in this wallet, bye-bye. You don't know where the money's at. You no longer have expectations of the work of others. You no longer can speculate and think about this ETH because you have no damn idea where it's at. No idea. None whatsoever. And that's how it should be. That's how it should be. I love that this happened. I love the fact that now the fun can begin. And really, if you think about it, the chain is a 2026 chain, meaning the tokens are probably going to pump in 2026 compared to this year. And that aligns with this grace period of time that we're going to have, where people are going to be really right now going from excited to like panicked. I think there's going to be panic. You know, there's a lot of Corey Costas out there that are going to surface that are diehards and are going to flip, because now they can't watch this wallet here. Now they can't say, oh, well, Richie pumps my bags. Oh, imagine what happens with Hart's Law, because Richard's going to pump my bags. Now it's like, okay, people can now focus on the real fundamentals of marketing and campaigning for PulseChain. Go out there and talk about the tech. If you think it's the greatest tech ever, great. If you think it's quicker, faster, more efficient, better than Solana, better than the Snap, great. You want to go out there and talk about the altcoins, pump tires, meme tokens, altcoins, PTGC, Sparta, whatever it may be, there's going to be a whole nother bracket of a focus of this topic on PulseChain, other than, okay, great, your founder's got a bunch of tokens to pump the chain. Wonderful. That was never going to cut it, right? The expectations is what's been slowing us down. The expectations of not knowing or of knowing and seeing this money is all that it's just made us as marketers and people that talk about PulseChain in general very like boring. Okay, in these Twitter spaces. Look how much SAC money we got. when that hits 5K, 8K, like we're going to the moon. There's websites that show about, you know, if it injects $30 million at the, like, what? There's no other website on any other blockchain that does something like that. Like CZ, if he injected $1 billion into this, no. People are going out there talking about the projects and the tokens that are on the chains, whether it's a meme token, Astrodex, whatever it may be, and they're getting excited about it. They're marketing. They're going to work. All right? They're going to work. They're going to work for the chain. So this is like the most exciting thing that's happened, because now we could forget. Now I can delete out of my bookmarks, look into rh.com and move on. Now I have no clue where the money's at, right? Now I could focus on the core tokens, and not just talking about like the core tokens like Hex, eHex, pHex, Inc, Pulse, and PulseX. I could talk about everything else that leverages the chain, the altcoins, the meme coins, pump tires. Now people got something to go on about and really market this, because what's been holding back the marketing is that damn treasury wallet. It's been like a zit. It's just the most annoying thing in the world for me, and I always knew it was for Richard Hart, because you just cannot escape that topic. Okay, it just every single Twitter space, like, oh my gosh, when the SAC funds come over, SAC Daddy, and it's like, do we have anything good going on PulseChain? Are we forgetting about all the developers that are on there? It's like a slap in the face of the developers, or they're like, well, I guess we're just going to wait around too, but we've built the tech. We've built all this cool stuff for you guys. Like, come on. Hello, McFly. So now, as we go on and we move forward from here, we can go circle back and start high-fiving all the tech builders on this chain that are still here, that are still promoting, that are still building, and talk more about that stuff. And then the SAC funds and the expectations of all that goes out the window, and we will become stronger from this point. It's exciting. It's exciting. I think that Artur, I think that is you on DEXScreener for Richard Hart's BTC meme. Which one? I'm not sure. There's still 858 ETH there. I'm going to hyper focus on that 858. Everything you're saying is fine. Problem is he waited years. It doesn't matter how long he waited. Is the fact that now it's just, as time has gone by, the ETH is no longer a topic. We no longer are going to heavily weigh in on speculation on that ETH. We can always say it's there, always say that it's going to come over, but we can't track it no more. Out of mind, out of sight. Okay. I think it's at this point, it's like, now let's go focus on everybody who's been here, who's done what, who is going to rise the tides here, who's going to lift the chain. And it's the builders, it's the developers. A blockchain is made so people that are innovative and smart and have good ideas can go on there and build to attract users. So the main focus is going to shift. And I can't wait for that, to watch your content, my content, and everyone's content that's going to be up in the next following weeks and time that passes. And we get to just really hyper focus on that. Right. Good point. It's hard to build on something that is down. Only new focus on teach would be cool. Yeah. We're on to something like Pulse Jitsu. He is a builder on PulseChain. Right. A lot of the developers have been sitting around like, okay, well, I build a lot of cool stuff, but I guess, everything's going down and everyone wants to wait for the sacrifice money. And then we think we have these washout periods, it pumps and dumps. The sacrifice money has pumped money into this before. People dumped into it. Now people can look at this opportunity as, okay, well, if we go back down, because after this grace period of people being excited and then nothing happens and the price floors, we hit the ground running. And we have stuff that's already been built there that's good, that we can follow suit and promote and talk about, get excited about, and say, hey, you got in at the cheapest rate you could have possibly got, not only into PulseChain, but into this platform. Okay, so there's a lot of things that have been built that are there. They're just sitting and they deserve more content, more users. It's a good time. Check out Richard Hart meme BTC on DEXScreener. I don't know. I haven't heard of it yet. I'm gonna need a CA, bro. But the chain right now is pumping. And speaking of a builder here too, and we'll talk about Peacock as well, right? We have Firewhale right now. Perfect example of a builder of not only a token, SolidX, that has an ongoing development of an ecosystem that's going to support, speculated about buying and burning the token, rumors, I have been out floating out there for a while about that. Developed the online casino, xgame.io. I've done like 2-3 hours of content playing on the test net. That's going to bring eyes not only to PulseChain, but from other chains that could participate. If you head over to xgame.io, right, it's a cross chain, Pulse, Base, and BSC, and they are the biggest sponsor of bare knuckle ice wars. Basically, these guys bare knuckle fighting in hockey gear on ice skates on ice, like good old fashioned ice hockey fights, right? Xgame.io is the proud sponsor of that. That's going to put their gambling website on the map, make them big, and obviously probably the main chains that will start off that get the most juice at first is the chains that are big right now currently, which is Binance, Smart Chain, and Base. But then PulseChain has a lot of opportunity to come in there and grab a lot of that attention, and people will say, well, what is this other chain? So it's a great opportunity for what he has done for the chain and built. RH's Pepe outperforming. Let's go take a look. Hey, listen, I'm all open game for meme tokens at this point. Is this RH Pepe? Because people making meme tokens, everything, we can focus on this now. Everything. We got memes. We got it. Is this the one right here with the $2.2 million market cap? It's bullish. They changed the market cap to represent Firewhale's bags as OA bags, so that won't be sold. Yep. That's beautiful. RH's Bitcoin has R2R on it. What? RH's Bitcoin has R2R. I don't know if is it trending. R2R is in it, like the VIP chat. Everyone's been in. I haven't been in there too much today. I was with family. Did somebody from R2R make a token? Okay, yes, that one. So this is RH Pepe. We'll see. This one launched 8 months ago, and it's up 36.29% today. Look at that. Things are going to start waking up on chain. And that right now is because of the hype and the excitement of like the speculation that the SAC funds are coming. But if you just kind of slow your roll and go, okay, all the SAC money has moved, knowing Richard and understanding that, okay, people are going to want to front run that, now wouldn't be the time. But it's enough to get some pumps. Go to search and type BTC. Okay. Oh my God. Who made that token? That is hilarious. Is that you, dog? Oh man, it's got my live now on there in the back. When did this one launch? This one's 8 months old? What? That's crazy. Is this a pump tires token? Let's take a look at the tokenomics. Yeah, 1 billion supply. What in the world? That's crazy. I had no idea this existed. I'm gonna post that in R2R. That is hilarious. Somebody in R2R must have made that a long time ago. I'm gonna post that in chat right now. That is, I never knew that that token was around. What in the world? It's a Richard Hart token. It's part of Richard Hart's memes. That's funny. That is so funny. Damn. They used my screen, oh man. Another thing too here is Peacock. So like these are the investments now I'm looking at where I'm glad I have these, X Games being one, and then also Peacock, which is representing Liberty Swap, right? Where it brought us the opportunity to cross-chain swap, right? That's massive, and it's the token mascot that they support. So that to me is like beyond a meme. It's almost like a meme turn into a utility, right? X game is pretty much the same thing too. You get to invest into like the success of an online casino with X game, and the Liberty swap, right, has done buybacks with some of the money that's been generated through the bridge, and we've seen that take place and pump the token recently. So this is these right here are beyond memes, but they were created on pump tires. They were created on pump tires. So I love these opportunities. Absolutely love them. So imagine now people can start to just focus on all the fundamentals, going back like to the drawing board, taking away something from the community that was like the only base point that people had. They would trigger any type of bullish momentum or thoughts was this damn sacrifice fund. It's been just like, I'm glad it's out the window. We're going to have like a delay in the way we digest this information, right? Because it can go from really exciting to very like panic mode. Like, dude, like Richard's not streaming. He's not tweeting. The SAC funds are gone. No injections yet. You know, you get 10 days in, 12, maybe even goes a month, right? We don't see anything. And then the markets are funky. What does that do to PulseChain? Well, I'll tell you one thing, right? I'll tell you one thing. He doesn't want you here if you're going to be selling the pump. He's been recorded on camera numerous times talking about how to get rid of the weak hands and how to shake those people out. Right? He doesn't want to give you any exit liquidity if he could at bare minimum limit that. So it's interesting to me the timing of everything right now, especially with the markets and the tariffs and everything that's been going on, lashing out with other influencers and people on Twitter. The vicious attack in reply to Corey Costa. Everything is like, you can almost think it's like a form of not punishment, but of just a way of like sending a message that most people are going to take and identify in several different ways. Some people are going to say he's giving us a clue. He's going to pump the chain. So I just think we're in for a surprise. We're definitely in for a surprise. At this point, I'm going to speculate on the strongest core tokens, right? Outside of the cores, which would be like the utility type style, like the Peacocks and the X Games. I'm not going to worry about what Atropa's got going on at this point, to be honest with you. I've gone through that phase and a lot of things have been going on. But I'm all about X Games, Solid X, Tiago, and then going out there and finding DeFi and different platforms that people have created to go out there and showcase on my channel, which is great. And at the end of the day, if we all start to market this in this new direction and focus on the builders and the opportunity in the coins. Even if you're a P copy maxi, right? P die maxi, you're doing a good service to the community by bringing more eyes and attention. Okay, and having some kind of speculation, having some kind of narrative, it all helps the chain. Whether we all believe in it or not, it definitely helps the chain. But I think we have to now be hyper focused on other areas that we can hyper focus on, and it's going to be new, right? This just happened. Okay, so when something like this just takes place, everybody right now is on just complete high like alertness, right? And don't forget to go to DEXScreener.com, DEXScreener.com, guys, where you can follow and track all your tokens here on PulseChain. Feature tokens are all on here. This is from the Finger Monkey team that's developing a lot of things beyond the point of just a typical meme token, right? They've actually invested in DEXFi bonds, where the money that they've invested that gets paid out to them, they're bridging that capital over to PulseChain, which brings new capital to PulseChain, buying their Finger Monkey token and burning it out of existence. But this is here. Basically, you're going to get everything that you want here and be able to have all these different tools in your portfolio. I did a dedicated video on this. You guys should go check it out so you know the ins and outs. But you want to come here, check out what's trending. Maybe you didn't know about Pepe, right? And you come here, you see RH Pepe is trending, Pulse Send is trending, Zero Trust. I don't know what those tokens are, but you can come here, find them, read all about it, and see what's happening on PulseChain, right? Across the board. DeFi, meme tokens, utility tokens. You'll see here all the markets, top caps, new listings. So this is the new listing. Top gainers. You can see all that. DAOs. You got your DeFi. All the DeFi. Look at that. Look at all the DeFi that's listed there at this point as this is evolving for you guys to go out there and showcase what's happening on PulseChain, right? Showcase this website. Not a look into rh.com. You're going to want to go to DSCVRpulse.com. I'll put the link in the description of the video, right? And you guys can visit here. I'll put it in the what do you call it, in the comments here. Go out there and bookmark this. This is a wonderful website and display of what we have here on our precious chain, right? And you can come and see the sentiment index, 100% Pulse Mania right now. PulseChain ecosystem is pumping hard, and go use all your ecosystem and portfolio and tools here. I mean, the PDI tracker's there. You can't get enough your PDI, right? Go ahead and check that out. Like I said, I'm going to update that in the description of the video so that you guys can go there and enjoy it and be able to follow your favorite meme tokens, be able to follow the core tokens, be able to follow DeFi that's being developed here and discover things, right? If you didn't know that there is a new DeFi dApp happening on PulseChain or a new meme token that's thriving and trending, you're going to find it there first and be able to, share that with your audience. So I think it's important to, showcase that. Shout out to the Finger Monkey team, right? This development, this tool, where it allows you to watch your portfolio, track your wallets, take a look at what's happening, opens the floodgates to people that are new to come here and be like, oh, wow, like this is the one-stop shop to come and see everything that's going on PulseChain and everything that's developing there and what's new, what's hot, what's not. And it just really allows them to come here and start to bring in that money. We want new users. So new users need a home base like this. It's very important. So what happened to the SAC funds? That's the moral of the story. We're not supposed to know. You are not supposed to know. And we are not, it's not meant to have expectations, right? We are not supposed to know. We move on from this. It's no longer a case of win SAC fund money, win pump. It's when are you going to get out there, do your part, and there's going to be what are we going to capture onto as a community? As the sacrifice money literally just dies off the speculation, because I think he's going to allow it to just go to rest, let it sunset. And the day it happens, if it happens, it happens. But I think it's going to sunset all that expectation and really put the ball in our court. Where, as a community, are we going to gather together? And what token and what features and what DeFi dApps and what assets are we going to rally around together and push out there to new users that's going to excite people other than a sack daddy, right? So that right there is big, because now we have to rally around something as a community and figure out what is that going to be? Who deserves the spotlight? Is it Peacock because of their tremendous utility that they brought for being able to bridge money from these different chains now, including Solana, right? Is it xgames.io because of the online casino that has a huge market fit as far as online gambling is big in crypto? And they're going to be the sponsor of Bare Knuckles Ice Wars? Is it going to be whatever it may be, right? But at least we have a new starting point and a whole new mindset that's going to happen, because now, as exhausted as I am with that entire topic, people are not going to be able to wallet watch and sit there and watch it every day. We're up 20 million today. Like, no, we're not up. It's not our money. We're not up. People were saying, like, our bags are going to, like, people were talking in the sense where, like, they felt like that money belonged to them. And it's like, no, man, you sacrificed for freedom of speech, literally. All right. Now you have this exciting chain that we can hyper focus on other stuff. So don't forget to pound the like button, drop a comment. Till next time, we'll do it again. Yeah, dog.
I wake up in the morning, telegram in hand, heart to our community, the coolest in the land. Cheese cream drops a joke, got me laughing loud. Then I start to scroll down through the daily crowd. Who's the OG prince, lighting up the zone? Is it Dama Beast or Sav on the throne? Or maybe it's Friday, Flexmas is here. Time to throw some gains and flex without fear. I toss out some questions, looking for the signs. Inside fixes ready, dropping out for lines. I keep on reading, can't look away. Those spicy emojis make my whole day. Then someone yells exit, get off PulseChain, but I ride the waves through pleasure and pain. I live in a limbo of hope and despair, but we're all in this boat and I'm proud to be there. Yeah, I might end up wrecked, burned by the flame, but I'm with the best crew in this wild DeFi game. I might end up wrecked, burned by the flame, but I'm with the best crew in this wild DeFi game.